Hey guys, it's Tom again, and tonight I'm reviewing the game Armored Core for Answer. It's a Japanese simulation game where you control these robotic walker crafts named Nex to carry out varied missions throughout the game. Okay, first of all, I'm going to talk about the story in this game. Basically, the story goes, contamination on the planet makes it too difficult for humans to live there anymore. So these floating cradles were constructed and humans are forced to move there to live. Now, eventually, later on in the game, you can become good or evil. If you're good, you'll aim to protect the cradles, and if you're evil, your goal is to destroy the cradles, bring them back down. This little diversion in the story is pretty interesting in my opinion, but overall, a relatively simplistic story. Now I'm talking about the controls. They're actually quite complex. You have your main arm weapons, you have your back arm weapons. You also can put equipment on your shoulders. This can be either more weapons or other miscellaneous equipment that can help you in different ways. You also have to know how to quick boost from side to side or forward. Then there's also something called the overhead boost, which allows you to boost really fast for a long time. You also have the ability to hover, which is sort of like flying, except you can only do it for as long as your energy allows you to. And you also have assault armor, which destroys everything around you but costs energy and PA for primal armor. All of these tactics require different buttons to press. Thankfully there's a simple mode configuration in this game, but still quite a lot you have to know. Now I'm going to talk about the music and sound effects in this game. The music in this game, in my opinion, is beautiful. Many of the songs consist of piano or strings. Some of the songs are also catchy rock tunes as well. They really either get you going for the battle or they entrance you, sort of. Which is a good thing in my opinion. As for the sound effects and the voices in this game, they're decent, nothing spectacular. Now I'm going to talk about the gameplay in this game. Many of you guys have probably played one or more of the Ace Combat games. Well, basically you can think of this game as Ace Combat on the ground, save for when you're hovering a little bit. As I mentioned before, you pilot these robots known as Nex to destroy other targets, destroy enemy targets, or to escort friendly targets, just like you would when you play the Ace Combat games. Often, you'll be thrust into these duels with other Nex, which, again, is sort of like akin to dogfighting in the Ace Combat series. I found duels to actually be somewhat frustrating at times, unless you're using the right strategy. My personal strategy is, I like to hover above the enemy Nex and unload my strongest ranged weaponry on the Nex. Because I find the Nex to be quite evasive, so when I hit the enemies, I want them to count. Anyway, this game is bigger than it appears at first. It's bigger because even though you can get through the one playthrough in about 10 hours or less, you'll notice that although there are like 42 different missions in this game, you probably only complete like 20 or so of them throughout one playthrough. So this game asks that you go through it again and try different paths out to unlock the other missions. The missions themselves, they're in very different locations. The graphics in this game I find are pretty impressive, especially for 2008. They look pretty realistic. And all the sceneries and all the missions look pretty different from each other. So although you may be doing the same thing in each mission, at least you'll feel the fresh breath of variety in this game, which is definitely a good thing. Speaking of variety, another thing I like about this game is that there are many different kinds of weapons in this game. You've got the machine guns, you've got the missiles, you've got the cannons, and you've also got blades, which is good for close quarters combat. You could also argue that these weapons could make the game more complex, but in my opinion, all these weapons are a good thing. Anyway, in conclusion, I found this game to be quite fun. It's a shame that it's not more popular than it is. Ace Combat fans will probably want to give this game a run. They might be impressed at what they play. Also, Armored Core 5 is coming out sometime next year, I think, 2012. I watched a trailer of this game and it looks like a beaut. I'm definitely gonna see if I can't get this game next year. Alright, thank you for now. I'll see you later.